Hey y'all, Hillbilly here. Gonna attempt to put new struts on my 1999 Chevy Tracker. Went through some ordeal ordering parts. Didn't know I needed a few things, but the one thing is this piece right here, the strut mount. These are so old that when I replaced the other side, the whole bushing came out, dry rotted, so I had to wait on these parts to come in. But basically what we're going to do is undo, there's 3 screws. There's one here, one over here, and one right behind this stuff. Undo that, undo this bolt here and this washer, and that'll take it from the top. First I got to jack it up, take off the tire, and then loosen the bolts everywhere, put it up on some jack stands. So be back in just a minute with that one. Alright, I've got the tire off, got it up on jack stands, and then I put the jack underneath the control arm here, jacked it up to take a little bit of tension off of that spring right there, and went ahead, loosen these bolts right here, holds it on. Next we'll take this brake caliper, or the brake line clip off. I've got some have to grab some pliers for that one. And up top here I've already took a breaker bar and loosened all the nuts up here, so that all we need to do is take this out and drop it down. Hopefully I won't have to take the brake caliper off, but I might have to. Had some rain last night and got a little rust going on this morning. Okay, I took out the 3 nuts right here, holding this thing in, and as you can see, my strut is so tired that it just fell all the way through. That is one old worn out strut. You can see it's coming down. The one thing I do want to tell you, I originally bought the struts thinking that I could just replace them. I didn't realize this thing was so worn out too, and it is worn out. And the new ones are not like the old ones. They're slightly different. So I think if you're going to replace them, of course most people will probably say duh to this, but replace the whole unit and you won't run into quite the trouble I had. And really the only trouble I had was just having to wait and have them overnighted, the parts overnighted. And I don't know if I mentioned before also, but I had to chalk the wheels up, make sure it didn't roll anywhere. And in the manual or instructions, basically it says try not to let your drive shaft overextend. So I'll try to get this out real quick before it does that. Okay, Hillbilly back here. Here's the new strut, and here's the new bearing assembly and strut mount that goes on there. In the instructions it said to put the bushing on, and I'm assuming the bushing is that, because I checked with the Chevrolet dealer, checked with various parts suppliers, and they couldn't find me anything. There is also not a dust shield on it anymore. That has been discontinued, they said. So now I'm going to remove that nut and the washer. I'll reuse the washer on top here. And I do know it's windy. I apologize for the noise. So we will try to put this back on. I made a makeshift little hanger out of a hanger to keep it from dropping out and overextending while I have it out. So next we will I'm gonna install this first, tighten it up. These get torqued to around 20 foot-pounds. This one gets torqued to around 50 something. And then these bolts that go on here and here are around 70, I do believe. All the instructions has this specific torque number, so. All right, put new bolts in here. As you can see, the old ones, well, one of them I had to cut it off. The other one I had to almost cut it off, and I think they're probably the originals. So I had to lose one of them, so I thought I'd just go ahead and buy brand new bolts. So I took the old ones and tried to match the size and threads as close as I could, and these were 19 millimeters originally, and then so that's what I got to replace them. I don't think the threads per inch were quite as I don't think they were quite as much as the originals, but I got them as tight as I could. This is the nut on top, and because my torque wrench, I've only got a 1/2 inch drive, and all of my metric are 3/8 inch drive. I'm basically kind of cheating and using the 3/4 inch drive with it to torque it down, and it's working okay. So up to the top, I put it through there. I can't quite get these nuts tightened up yet. It's going to take a little while because there's tight space in here, and I'm being lazy and not removing everything. So I'm just going to bust my knuckles for a little bit and get them good and tight. And then the next thing I've got to do is take this off. And what I use is a pipe wrench on this one, because it is like 2 1/4 inches, and I don't know, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, replacing struts or anything, so I know there's a special tool for it. I don't have it. I've got a pipe wrench and sockets, so that's what I'm using, and it worked great on the other one. So that's what I'll do to take it off. Alright, I thought I'd give you a quick show of what I'm doing here with the pipe wrench on there. And of course my breaker bar, this is a 19 millimeter nut on top of it, and luckily this side came off easy. The other one I thought I was going to have to cut it off, and I did have to cut the nut off of it, I do believe. I did on this one. It just would not come loose. This one came loose, thank goodness. And I'm just going to show you my setup. Alright, resuming. Let's see, these lower bolts right here says to torque them to 66 to 72 foot-pounds. I did them about 70. The little mounting plate nuts right there says 20. 18 to 20 foot-pounds. I couldn't get my torque wrench down there. There's too much junk in the way. So I just kind of guessed from doing those at 20. Got it about right. Probably more like 30 or 40, but I got them down. And then the rod nut there on top, this one, is supposed to be looks like 51 to 55 foot-pounds. And it was difficult getting the pipe wrench in here, but I got it in there and got it torqued down. So next I've just got to put the little bar that goes across here for stabilization, take it for a test drive. Okay, got everything on, got the stabilizer bar on there. And I didn't know exactly what these were torqued to, so I kind of did about 40-50. But got this nut torqued down to the 18 to 20. Or no, these were 18 to 20, the little ones. This one was around 50 to 55. Like I said, I did these about between 40 and 50. think I did them at 50, honestly. And then the lower ones were around 70 something. Again, it'll be in the paperwork. Got the tires back on. Everything sat down. I didn't hear any big pops or booms. So I'm getting ready to button up all the little things here and then take it for a test drive. And once I put it all together, take it for a test drive, hopefully it will work. Alright, I took everything, test drove it, seems to work. Right now I'm going to test drive it a little bit more and see if it works. I put the bar back on, everything's torqued down. I'll drive it, re-torque my lug nuts here, and then that's it. So this is how to replace struts on your 1999 Tracker. This is a 4-wheel drive 2.0 liter Chevy Tracker. And it was quite an ordeal. Like I said, it's the first time I'd ever done it. And of course, I don't know, you can probably see that these were absolutely wore out. Needed to be replaced. So there you go. Hope that helps.